Good morning, students. Now, today we will discuss about the conservation of energy in interference. Means, in interference phenomena, the energy remains conserved. That is known as conservation of energy in interference. Now, in interference, we know that the maximum intensity is obtained. That is I max is equal to A1 plus A2 whole square, because the intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude, and minimum value of intensity is given by I minimum directly proportional to this. So if you will calculate the average intensity of light, then you will write I max plus I minimum by 2, which will, on solving, it will give you A1 square plus A2 square, that is equation 1. This thing will be possible when there is an interference of light. Suppose if there is no interference of light between the two light waves from the two sources, then intensity at every point will be same. And when the intensity of light will be same at every point, then intensity is given by I is equal to I1 plus I2, and when you will solve I1 plus I2, you will get A1 square plus A2 square, that is equation number 2. So on when we will compare, if there is an interference of light and if there is no interference of light, in both the cases from equation 1 and 2, we can write I is equal to IAV. Means intensity, when there is no interference, there is the intensity I, and when there is the interference, the average intensity is given by IAV, which is equal to A1 square plus A2 square, which shows that in both the cases, whether the interference takes place or do not take place, the value of intensity remains same. This shows that there is no violation of law of energy, which shows that the interference obeys the law of conservation of energy. Now we have to see the ratio of the maximum and minimum intensity of light. So here we know that the maximum intensity of light is given by I max directly proportional to A1 plus A2 whole square, and I minimum is directly proportional to A1 minus A2 whole square. So when we will do the ratio of these two, I max upon I minimum is equal to, you will get this thing. On solving this further, you can write A1 by A2 plus 1 whole square upon A1 minus A2 minus 1 whole square. Here A1 by A2 is taken as R, where R is known as the amplitude ratio of the two waves, which will be equal to root of I1 by I2. So what you can write, the ratio will get I max upon I minimum is equal to R plus 1 upon R minus 1 whole square. Or our next topic is polarization of light, and in this polarization of light, first of all, when Huygens gave the theory, and according to this Huygens theory, light is a mechanical wave. And light is a mechanical wave. You know that mechanical waves are those waves for the propagation of which medium is required. And he suggested that there is a ether as a medium. Ether as a medium is taken in which the light propagates in the form of mechanical wave. And mechanical waves are now classified into two. One is the longitudinal wave, and second is known as what? Transverse wave. Now you have read in class 11, what is the longitudinal wave? When the particle of the medium vibrates along the direction of propagation of the wave, then the wave produced in the medium is called longitudinal wave. And the wave in which the particles of the medium vibrates in a perpendicular direction to the direction of propagation of wave, those waves are known as what? Transverse waves. So this theory, which was given by the Huygens, this becomes failure after some time. And on the later on, it is found that light is an EM waves. EM waves means electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic wave means there it is the composition of two fields. One is electric field and another is magnetic field, and both these electric and magnetic fields vibrates perpendicular to each other, and these are vibrating in a perpendicular direction to the direction of propagation of the wave. The direction of propagation of the wave means the direction in which the wave will propagate in a medium. And now, as the light is considered as EM waves and EM waves do not require any medium for their propagation. Means now totally the concept of the light propagation has been changed. Previously it was considered that light was a mechanical wave which may be two types, longitudinal or transverse, and for their propagation we need what medium, that is called ether. Now on the modern theory it is said that light is an electromagnetic wave and which do not require propagation for the medium, and it is transverse in nature. And transverse in nature means here the electric field and magnetic field both vibrates in a perpendicular direction to the direction of propagation of wave. As you can see in this diagram, there is a x-axis representing the direction of propagation of the wave, while electric field vector, E magnetic electric field is vibrating along y direction and magnetic field is vibrating along the z direction. So here you can say that both electric and magnetic field oscillates in a perpendicular direction to the direction of propagation of wave. Thus, the light is a EM wave which is transverse in nature. Now in polarized light, in a polarization of light, there are the two types of light. First is known as unpolarized light. Unpolarized light is a light, as I told you, in this light is a EM waves, and in this EM waves, what happens? The electric field vector, this is the electric field vector, and this is what direction of propagation of wave, direction of propagation of light, you can say. So what happens? The electric field vector vibrate perpendicular direction to the direction of propagation of light. Now what happens in case of unpolarized light? See, what is unpolarized light? It is a light in which the electric field vector means this E vector vibrates in all possible direction in a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light symmetrically. See it again. It is a light in which electric field vector vibrates in all possible directions in a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light symmetrically. Now see how you can understand it. Now this is the direction of propagation of light, right? And now we have considered there is a plane, and this plane is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light. And in this plane you can see the electric field vector is vibrating in all possible directions. There is no fixed direction, it can vibrate in all possible directions. So the wave, a light in which the vibrations means electric field vibrates in all possible directions in a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave is known as what? Unpolarized light. The sources of unpolarized light are light which is obtained from the sun, light which is obtained from the sodium lamp, and light which is obtained from the incandescent lamp. Incandescent lamp, you know that is bulb, right? So these are the examples from which we will get the unpolarized light. And the unpolarized light can be represented in this way. Here, this is the first way to represent the unpolarized beam of light, in which you can see that the electric field vector is vibrating in all possible directions. Second, it can be represented by these vertical arrows with the dots. These dots represents along with this vertical arrow, these dot represents all possible directions, all possible vibrating direction of the electric field vector in perpendicular direction to the direction of propagation of the wave. So now it is clear that first type, unpolarized beam of light. There are two types of beam of light, unpolarized and polarized. So one thing I think it is clear, that is the unpolarized light. Now see the second type of light, that is the polarized light, or it is known as linearly polarized light. This is the second kind, that is polarized light or linearly polarized light. It is the light in which the electric field vector E vibrates only in one direction in a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light. Now it is clear. In the previous case, in case of unpolarized light, you can see that the electric field vectors are vibrating in all possible directions symmetrically in a plane which is perpendicular to the plane of direction of propagation of light. That was the unpolarized light. Now what happens in case of polarized light? It is a light in which electric field vector vibrates only in one direction in a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light. Now, how it can be possible? This is the unpolarized beam of light in which you can see the vibrations are in all possible directions. They are vertical, they are horizontal, they are in all possible directions which is perpendicular to the plane. Now, how does this one-sidedness property, or other definition you can say that, or when the electric field vector is restricted in one direction, electric field vector is restricted to vibrate in one direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave, then it is known as what? Polarized light. Means here you can see there are number of possible directions in which the particles electric field vector can vibrate. Now, how we can get the one-sidedness property, or how we can get that the electric field vector can vibrate only in one direction? That can be done with the help of a device that is called what? Polarizer. Polarizer is a device by which all other vibrations can be cut. Only one side vibrations can be passed through the polarizer. So the device which is used to produce the polarized light or linearly polarized light, they are known as what? Polarizer. In 11th chemistry, I think you have read about this tourmaline crystal, Nicol prism, and these are the devices by which we can polarize the beam of light, and this polarization can be done with the help of tourmaline crystal, Nicol prism, but in commercial level, the polarization of beam of light can be done with the help of polarizer. Now, how does these polarizer work? See, it is an unpolarized beam of light. In this unpolarized beam of light, you can see the electric field vectors are vibrating in all possible directions. All possible direction means perpendicularly, diagonally, horizontally, in all possible directions they are vibrating in a plane which is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light. Now, what we are using? We are using the polarizer. Now, this polarizer have an axis. There is an axis in polarizer which is called the pass axis. Suppose this pass axis is in vertical direction. So when as it is in vertical direction, so only those vibrations can pass through this polarizer which are parallel to this pass axis. This is the unpolarized beam of light, and vibrations are possible in all directions, but only those vibrations can pass through this polarizer whose electric vectors are vibrating parallel to the pass axis. So the light ray which you will receive after the polarizer, that will have only the one property of vibration, that is one-sidedness property of the vibration. So electric field vector will vibrate only in one direction. This is the case in which the pass axis is perpendicular. Now if you will make another polarizer in which the pass axis is in a horizontal direction, means this is the polarizer in which the pass axis is given in this way. So when the pass axis is given in this way, when the pass axis is given in this way, means it is not in a perpendicular direction. So only those vibrations will pass which will parallel. Which will parallel means I can't show you in this two way. So only this can be shown in this way. Previously, the perpendicular vibration was passing. Now the vibration will become horizontal. So here they also get the property of one-sidedness vibration. One-sidedness vibration means it is in horizontal direction. Right? So this beam of light also get the property of one-sidedness. So it is also known as polarized light. Polarized light. So in this case, you can say the vibration should be cut. Only those vibrations will pass which are parallel to the pass axis, and rest of the vibrations which were present in the unpolarized beam of light, they will be cut or they will be stopped. So how we can present the polarized beam of light? In the first case, when I told you when the vibrations are parallel to the plane, they were represented by these parallel lines. In the second case, the vibration perpendicular to the plane, that is given by these dots line. While in the unpolarized beam of light, it was the combination of both polarized and unpolarized beam of light. So now it is clear that there are two types of polarization of light can be done. First is unpolarized beam of light. Second is polarized beam of light. Now third we will discuss partially polarized light in our next class.